Hey everyone, welcome back to tech.com. Today we will learn about C operators. Moving on to the operator section. So we have three different operators in C. One is unary operator, second is binary operator, and third is ternary operator or conditional operator. If we say about unary operator, inside unary we have like unary minus, typecast operator, Sizeof operator, increment and decrement operator. Similar way, if we say binary operator, we have arithmetic operators like addition, subtraction, have in under arithmetic operator. Then we have relational operator, also we have logical operator and bitwise operator. And under ternary operator, we have conditional operator. We will also discuss about all this in detail in our next slide. So, what is operator? Basically, one operator may define as a token which is used to perform any arithmetic, relational, logical operation on one or two or three operands. Type of operators, as we already discussed on the above slide, the same thing also over here. Moving on to the unary operator, when an operator operates only one operand, called unary operator. Like if we say a plus b, so here if you say uh, the value of b is getting added to variable of a by using operator. Unary minus operator, what does this mean? This operator is unary operator which is changes the sign of an operand. So for example, if we say uh, we have a value like -6 and we want to change this value to +6 or +6. In this case, how we can write this? We can make use of this unary minus operator, like minus sign and then operand value. Like this way, if you see -6, -5, minus of -7, so all these are considered as unary minus operator. Coming to the typecast operator, this operator is used to convert one type to another type within the same category. Mean when we want to convert one integer value to a long type value, we can write a variable over here, variable name, and before that we have to type the required data type, where which data type we want to convert this variable. Like if I want to convert an integer to a long, I need to type over here long, then operand, mean the variable value. Here if you see, this type name specify the data type to which the operator should be converted. So if we say this is the example, we have declared a variable I and j with 5 and 2 values. Also we have one variable called b, which is floating type value. Now we want to store the result value of I divided by j, and the result we want to store on b. So if we store this thing as these both values are integer value, it will always store the integer digit. It will not store the floating point value. Even though this is a float variable, still it will go and store as 2 only. So if we see over here, for this example, if we divided 5 by 2, 2.5, so it will omit 0.5 and it will consider only 2. But if we want the exact result, in this case we need to use the casting operator. So this way we can achieve the actual result. Moving on to the Sizeof operator. The operator is used to determine the size of the different data type and the variable. By using this Sizeof operator, we can get the size of the variable. Also we can get the size of the data types. Like if we say this, if you look into the syntax, size of data type, or size of variable. For this example, if you consider, if you see, this is the variable like x, x1, x2, x3 and x4 are integer type of variable. We have one more is float type A and character type C variable. Now if we want to store the size of integer data type, we can write like this, size of int, and we can store over here. So as soon as we print the value of x, it will give us 2 value. Same way, as this x is also integer type of data type, if we just print size of x, this will also give us the same value 2. Likewise, we also have float, char and all other types. We can get the size like this way. Increment operator. Increment mean it's a unary operator which increases the value of the operand. So for example, if you consider we have a loop where we want to increase the counter value. In this case, what we can do, we can type plus plus of the counter, or counter equal to counter plus 1. In this increment operator, we have two things. One is prefix increment, another one is postfix increment. If you see the prefix increment, so we need to write in the code in this format like plus plus then operand. If we say postfix increment, we have to write operand and then plus. So how this will work? So if we say this example, let's say x having the value as 10 and t is having value as 15. Now prefix increment mean first we are incrementing the value of the variable, and then we are using that same incremented value for our operation. Like if we say this example, x is 10, but we want to store the resultant value into y like plus plus x. So first we will increase this to plus 1, mean 11 it will do. So current value of x is 11. So y will store the value as 11. Likewise, if we consider int t equal to 15, means t is holding the value of 15. Now if you want to store the resultant value into v variable, if we talk about postfix increment, mean first we will use the value and then we will increment it. In this example, t and v will be having the same value. Similar way, we have also decrement operator. It's also unary operator which decrease the value of the operand. So like we have minus minus operand, which is called prefix decrement, or we have operand minus minus, which is called postfix decrement. So if we say this int x equal to 10, and if we write int y equal to minus minus x, meaning first it will decrease the value and then it will use. So here if we consider x is having value as 10, but as soon as we store the value into y, it will be having as 9, because first it will do minus 1 and then it will store it. Same way over here, if we have like int t equal to 15, that means t has the value as 15. Now you want to do t minus minus, that means first we will use it and then decrease the value. So here t and v will both will be having the same value 15. So this is how we use increment and decrement operator in our C program. I have given one example over here for this increment and decrement operator results. So here if you consider, we can execute this program and we can see what will be the output for this program. So for example, if I say here we have integer 20 and 30 as I and j. Now if we do the increment operation, what it will do, so we have this set, if you see, plus plus I comma minus I plus plus, that means in this case first we are incrementing the value and then we are using, in this case we are using first value and then we are incrementing. So for same way the decrement operator also work. Now let's move on to the code blocks to execute this program. So the same program whatever I have given, the same thing over here. Now if you guys are executing this code in your local system, please do share your output result in the comment box. So let's run this application. If you see here, we are getting as initial value of I is 20, but as soon as we do this increment of, it will execute from right to left. So in order to execute the code, it will always start from here and it will move like this. So if you see, for it will consider the first one. So here as we are using first and then incrementing, so the I will be having as value as 20, and then we are incrementing to 1 plus mean 21. So first value it will print as 20. Then coming to the second, as current value of I is 21, but in this code again we are incrementing and then using. So it will become 21 plus 1, so 22. So it will print as 22 and 20. If you want to print this value in next line, we can use /n. That will determine it's a new line. Similar way, if we set the decrement operator, the decrement also, for the same example I have given, if you see over here, the initial value of j is 30. This will also start executing from right to left. So first it will execute this piece of code. It will print the j value and then it will do the -1. So it will print as 30 and then it will do -1. So 29. Current value of j is 29. Here again we are doing -1. So current value of j is 28 and that particular value it will print. So if you see, for this code it will print 28 and for this code it will print as 30. This is how the increment and decrement operator will work. Let's move on to the binary operator. So as I said, the binary operator are used to perform the operation between two operand. So in binary operator, we have again four different type of operator like arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, and bitwise operator. Arithmetic operator in C are used the below operator what I mentioned over in this table. Those are the operator we are using as to perform the arithmetic operation. So if we say plus, it indicates the addition. So whenever we want to perform any addition thing between two variables, that time we can use the plus operator. If we want to perform any subtraction, that time we can use minus operator. If you want to do any multiplication, we can use star operator. And for the modular division, we can write the percentage. So this is how the arithmetic operator will work and indicates with this operator symbol. Moving on to the relational operator. So relational operator mean it's kind of condition check. So like if you see the operator we are using as greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, equal to, not equal to. So these are all the relational operator. Let's say for the example, if we have int a equal to 10 and b equal to 15. So whenever we are applying this greater than operator, let's say we are checking a greater than b, as a is having 10 and b is having 15, so this condition will give us the false result. So if you see the result is false, is nothing but the zero value. So we have two things, okay? One is true result, another one is false. So for true we indicate as 1 and for false we indicate as 0. So if we apply the less than operator between a and b, if we see a less than b, yes, that's true. That's why the result will come as true. Same way if we say, is it greater than or equal to, a is greater than equal to b? No, it is false. So likewise we have, so we this way we can compare two operand by using this relational operators. Moving on to the logical operator, an operator which is used to perform the logical operation between two operand called logical operator. So there are three type of logical operator we have: AND operator, OR operator, and NOT operator. So for logical AND, we declare the operator by using the ampersand and ampersand sign. Logical OR operator, we can use this symbol. Similar way, we can logical NOT operator, we can use exclamatory sign. Let's move on to the logical AND operator. So if you see this example, whenever we are trying to perform the logical AND operator between two operands, how that will behave. So like if we type operand 1 and operand 2, if we see, suppose operand 1 is having the value as 0 and operand 2 is having the value as 0. In this case, 0 into 0, so it will give us that 0 result. So basically this AND operator is nothing but we are doing the multiplication between two operators. So let's say for this, if we say 0 and non-zero, it will give us the result as 0. Similarly, if we say non-zero and 0, it will give us a 0. But if both are non-zero and non-zero, mean 1 and 1, in this case, it will give us the result as 1, mean non-zero. Move on to the logical OR operator. So logical OR operator we can write in this format: operand 1 or symbol operand 2. So how this will work? If we consider operand 1 is having value as 0 and operand 2 is having as 0. In this case, this to 0 or 0 if we write, the result we will get as 0. But whenever we are writing 0 or 1, always it will give us the higher value, which is 1, in positive value. Same way, if we see over here non-zero 0, it will give us non-zero, mean 1. If we say non-zero non-zero, it will give us a non-zero, mean 1. Moving on to logical NOT operator. So it's perform the logical NOT operation on the operands. It is used to perform the logical NOT operation, either logical negation operation on the specified values. Like if we say A is having the value as true, A is a boolean type value which is having the value as true. We want to declare or assign the value to B, which is also boolean type, and I want the opposite value of A. In this case, we can write B equal to not of A. That means B will capture the value as opposite value of A. So for this example, if we say, suppose the operand A is having the value as 0, mean false. If we write not sign and of 0, that means it is a non-zero, mean it's a true value. So we can change or swipe the value from 0 to non-zero, non-zero to 0 by using the not sign, not operator. Moving on to the bitwise operator, the operator are used to perform the logical operation or shift operation bit by bit basis. So all the operands of bitwise operator must be integer type. Like we cannot perform bitwise operator with any other type of data. So it will be always integer type value. So if we consider the bitwise operator, here we have the type of bitwise. So we have bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift, bitwise XOR, and bitwise first complement. And we have bitwise first complement. Moving on to the conditional operator or ternary operator. So what is a conditional operator or ternary operator? An operator which operates with three operand called ternary operator. This operator performs any task based on the particular condition. Like if we say the below example, we have suppose expression 1. We are checking on this expression 1, is it returning as the true value or false value? If it is returning true value, then the result will be the expression 2. But in case if this returns as false value, that means the result will be 3. So by using this concept, we can determine or we can identify the largest value or the smallest value. We will also apply one example to determine the or to implement this Ternary operator in our next slides. So moving on to the comma operator. So this is used to separate one operand from another operand. Like let's say we can also write int a, int b, int c, like that. But the same result we can also declare int a comma b comma c. So the comma operator used for this. What is terminator? Terminator is used to terminate a statement. So we always use the semicolon to terminate a C statement. If we say the type def, so what does this type def mean? This keyword is used to change the name of the existing data type. So let's say we have declared a variable integer type, and in later on if we want to change, we don't want to use integer, we want to use something else type of value, we can write the code in such a way that it should consider that type. So for syntax, if we explain, we need to type def, then the existing data type and the new name. So if you see this simple example, type def int computer. So we are converting, or we are declaring a name with a type of integer. In future, if we want to declare any variable with integer type, we can also use computer this term in this program to declare a variable as integer type. Here if you see, a, b and c are equivalent to integer a, b, c. So the computer a, b, c are equivalent to a, b, c. In this example, the int is existing data type. Using typedef keyword, we can change the name into computer. Hence, we are able to declare any variable using computer like this int. As I was talking in the previous slide, that we will be discussing about the ternary operators. So there is a task. I would request you to please write the code in your local system and execute it, and share your output in the comment box. So here the program is, we need to find out the biggest and smallest value among three numbers using conditional or ternary operator. Let's say this is the code. We will also write in the IDE to execute this code, but let's first discuss about the code structure. So as we know, these are the headers we need to include as part of executing one program. So we need to first declare three variables which is having the value like a equal to 10, b equal to 20 and c equal to 15. So we want the largest value or the highest value and the smallest value among these three variables. So we have also another two variable, which is one is big, another one is small. So we want to store the value in this variable. That's why we declare as integer type. Now, how we can determine the the biggest value? So this is how we can write the code. Like if we are assigning the value to the b, the result, how we need to write the code, a greater than b mean a greater than b question mark, a greater than c question mark, a colon c colon, b greater than c question mark, b colon c. So how this code will work? Here a is nothing but 10, b is nothing but 20. So we are first checking a is greater than b. This condition will give us the false result because a is less than b. So it will go to third block. It will execute this piece of code. So again here we are checking is b is greater than c. So what is b? B is 20 and C is 15. Yes, so 20 is greater than 15. So it will go to the second statement. So it will give us the result as B, mean 20. So the biggest value is 20. Likewise, if we say the smallest value, we need to write the code in this way: A less than B question mark, A less than C question mark, A colon C colon, B less than C question mark, B colon C. So let's explain this code, how this code will work. So first we will check if A is less than B, mean 10 is less than 20. Yes, this is true. So now it will go to the second block, which is nothing but this piece of code it will execute. Here what we are checking, we are again checking is A less than C, mean A is 10, 10 less than 15. Yes, so which is correct. Now it will give us the result as second statement of this particular statement. So it will give us as A value as 10. So the smallest value will be 10. Now we can print the value like big and small. So let's implement this code in our IDE. I have written this code already. So this is the code, the same code we already discussed over this PPTs. So let's execute this code. We'll see whatever we explain is that correct or not. See, the biggest value is 20 and the smallest value is 10. So we got the desired result. So this is all about today's session. Today we learn about C operators. If you have any questions, any doubts, please ping in the chat or the comment box. We will also discuss and clarify the questions in our next session. Thank you all for watching the video. Please do like, share and subscribe the tech.com channel.